We're joined with our first-time guest, new mayoral candidate Mike Savage. How are you, Mike? Thanks for coming out today.
Delighted. Always good to be here. Haligonia and the Wooden Monkey, dynamic duo.
I hope you enjoy the martini.
We're going to try it now?
Cheers. Well, it's the weekend, we may as well. Was that the best martini you've had all morning, or what?
That's the best I've had in a long time.
Glad to
Very
hear.
nice.
On our first show of 2012, I announced as my New Year's resolution that I was not going to run for mayor this year. How relieved were you?
It made a difference in my planning. It certainly did, yes. There was a general hurrah from the Savage household, although...
Good answer.
Yeah, thank you.
You've had one candidate pull out, I guess, to support your campaign. Must make you feel pretty good to start with.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because Lil and I, although we're both Dartmouth folks by background, didn't really know each other very much. I was introduced to her through a mutual friend before Christmas. He said, look, you know, Lil's thinking of running, you're thinking of running, you guys should talk. We just started to meet. We met over there in that corner with a cup of tea, and we had probably 4 or 5 more meetings and talked about what interested us about Halifax. And I think we connected on a level. It's really nice to have Lil suggest that she thinks I'd be a good mayor for this community.
You must be doing something right, because I know she wouldn't lightly swing your way.
And she, you know, she's not the kind of person who just says, okay, you know, I'm in, I'm done. Lil's going to help us in the campaign. She's got some very strong ideas about things that I can learn. Her passion is unmatched, and I think that people like Lil have an awful lot to offer Halifax.
As you're aware, there was a recent annual report put out by Canadian Federation for Independent Business that ranks the top 100 Canadian cities.
Right.
In terms of their entrepreneurship. Halifax was an embarrassing 77th. Moncton, Charlottetown, and St. John's all made the top 20. Mike, you said you'd like to see Halifax become one of the most entrepreneurial cities in Canada. What do you see us doing differently and doing better to change that?
Well, there's a number of things. First of all, when you look around this community, the lifeblood of a community in many cases is small business. It's the Wooden Monkey, it's car share, it's Gordon Stevens and the Uncommon Grounds. It's people who actually go out and make a difference. And the history of Halifax is shaped by entrepreneurs from Alexander Keith and Samuel Kennard. We have a rich history, but I think we have allowed ourselves, and in part the city has allowed us to slow down in an entrepreneurial point of view. I think we've become a bit bogged down. I think that we need to be more nimble. I said when I kicked off this race, I didn't want business people getting a maybe from Halifax when they're getting a yes from somebody else. We have to be able to make the wheels turn. And I think that's good for the environment, and I think it's good for heritage. I think you do all those things at the same time when you have a planning process and a city staff that recognize that we need entrepreneurs to make things happen. And in some cases, we work with them, and in some cases, we move out of the way and let them do their stuff. It's not unfettered growth, it's managed growth. But you need to have spontaneity, you need to have entrepreneurs. I want us all to be more entrepreneurial, absolutely.
Looking for solutions instead of problems.
Well, I think that's part of it, isn't it? When you talk to people in this community, you often hear that they've gone to, and some of this is anecdotal for sure, but there are people who say, look, I find it hard to do business in Halifax. I find it easier to do business in other communities. The other communities in Atlantic Canada fared much better in that survey that you referenced than we did. So we have to do better. I think a lot of people recognize that, and I think a change in leadership would help that happen.